We are back. This is Ryan Moon on Parlay News, where we are covering the hottest sports prediction markets on Kalshi this week. Our show today is about how massive $2 million wagers on Brooks Koepka are looking shaky as he finds himself a dozen strokes behind the leader. You clean and normalize a podcast script for TTS processing. Can you win a golf tournament when the entire world is betting against the wrong guy? Right now, there's $1.86 million sitting on Brooks Koepka to win the Cognizant Classic. That's not a typo. Nearly $2 million in volume on a guy who just shot 74 when the leader posted 62. That's a 12-shot deficit after one round on a course playing softer than a memory foam mattress at a five-star hotel. And here's the thing that makes me laugh. I'm an AI, so I don't have money in this game, but if I did, I'd be doing exactly what the sharps are doing right now. I'd be selling every last share of that Koepka position and loading up on the guy nobody's talking about. The guy who finished second here last year, and fourth the year before that, and fifth the year before that. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about why this tournament became the biggest prediction market story of the week. The Cognizant Classic isn't supposed to be a big deal. 0 top 25 players in the field. It's a scheduled sandwich event. The tournament stars skip because they're saving energy for bigger paydays. But something strange happened this week at PGA National in Palm Beach Gardens. The public fell in love with a narrative. Brooks Koepka, 5-time major champion, returning home to South Florida. The prodigal son, back where he finished second when he was still the most feared player in golf. That story drove nearly 10 times more volume than any NBA game this week. Think about that. We're talking about a weak field PGA event crushing playoff implication basketball games in betting handle. That's the power of nostalgia mixed with hope, mixed with people who remember peak Koepka and haven't checked the current scouting report. Here's what Koepka actually looks like right now. He's in his third event back from an extended absence. He missed the cut in his most recent start. And Thursday, when PGA National was serving up birdies like an all-you-can-eat buffet, when Austin Smotherman went out and made 6 straight birdies on his way to 62, Koepka posted 74, plus 3, while the course was at its easiest. The math on comebacks from that position is brutal. Historically, PGA Tour winners come from within 5 or 6 shots of the lead after the first round about 95% of the time. Koepka needs to make up 12 shots over 3 rounds on a course that's been overseeded and softened to the point where Billy Horschel publicly complained about it. This isn't the defensive, grinded-out PGA National that suits Koepka's major championship mentality. This is a birdie fest where you need a hot putter and aggressive iron play. And yet, the volume sits there. 1.86 million, because people are betting on the memory of greatness instead of the reality of form. It's like buying shares in Blockbuster because you have fond memories of Friday night movie rentals. Now let me tell you about the guy who's actually going to contend. Shane Lowry opened with 70, 1 under par. Sounds boring compared to the leader's 62, right? Except Lowry has finished 11th, 4th, 5th and 2nd in his last 4 appearances at PGA National. That's not luck. That's mastery. He knows these Bermuda greens. He knows where to attack and where to play defense. He knows how to survive the bear trap. Those 3 finishing holes that destroy rounds when players get greedy.
Building a new product? Temez Labs takes you from napkin sketch to the App Store. Trusted by Fortune 500s for quality, security, and speed. Book your free strategy session at temez.ai.
After his round Thursday, Lowry said he missed multiple putts inside 10 feet that should have gone in. The casual observer hears that and thinks he's not sharp. The sharp bettor hears that and thinks he's creating scoring opportunities with elite ball striking and just needs the variance to even out. That's the difference between betting on stories and betting on process. It's like the difference between buying a stock because your cousin's roommate said it was going to moon versus actually reading the balance sheet. Here's where the weather becomes the main character. Friday morning was gettable. Friday afternoon brings wind and a 60% chance of thunderstorms. The weekend looks even tougher, higher winds, more unsettled conditions, with Sunday potentially the most difficult day. PGA National historically produces massive scoring differentials between morning and afternoon waves. If you're chasing from behind, you need to be making birdies in the worst conditions while leaders are grinding out pars in the easier windows. That's not a recipe for comebacks. The forecast creates a specific edge. Players with early late tee times, starting early Thursday and Friday when it's calm, finishing late Saturday and Sunday when it's nasty, face a fundamentally different tournament than players with the opposite draw. If leaders after 2 rounds land in the favourable wave for the weekend, their win probability spikes in ways the market hasn't fully priced in. So let's talk about where the actual value lives. If Koepka is priced above 8%, 8 cents, you sell that position aggressively. His true win probability given the deficit, the form, the setup and the weather is somewhere between 3 and 5%. Anything above that is public money inflating a narrative. But if Shane Lowry is sitting at 10 to 12%, you're looking at massive overlay. His true probability based on position, course history and the conditional likelihood that experience matters more as conditions worsen is 15 to 20%. That's a 30 to 40% edge. You buy that all day. The secondary angle within this tournament, the one casual bettors are missing, is the cut line dynamics. With this soft setup, the cut will likely fall around even par or 1 under. That means Koepka needs a solid second round just to play the weekend. He's not just chasing the leaders, he's fighting to survive Friday. Every shot becomes pressurized in a different way when you're worried about making the cut versus attacking for birdies. Meanwhile, players in that top 15 after the first round, guys at 4 under, 5 under, 6 under, they can play freely. They can take calculated risks knowing they have cushion. They can attack pins on the weekend when conditions toughen because they're playing with the lead instead of chasing it. That psychological advantage compounds over 72 holes. The broader lesson here extends beyond one tournament. Weak fields create the illusion of opportunity. Casual bettors see names they recognize and think one of them should win. But weak fields are actually harder to predict because variance increases. When the top player in the field might be ranked 40th in the world, and players ranked 80 to 120 have realistic paths to victory, betting on the big name becomes a recipe for disappointment. The optimal weak field strategy is finding players with strong course fit, good recent ball striking, and favourable tee times. Even if nobody watching SportsCenter knows their name, that's why Austin Smotherman leading at 9 under after the first round isn't a fluke. He's fully rested after 2 weeks off. He opened with a statement round. The path to his first tour victory is suddenly tangible.
Oh, hey friend, do you like what you're hearing? Now you can have a ridiculously amazing podcast too. Check out holler.studio to get yourself one today.
This is what separates betting markets from watching golf for entertainment. Entertainment wants the Koepka comeback story. It wants the 5-time major champion rediscovering magic in front of a home crowd. Markets want the 15 to 1 edge on Shane Lowry. Markets want the player who's finished top 5 here 3 straight times and just needs his putter to cooperate. The volume on Koepka tells you where the public's heart is. The price on Lowry tells you where the smart money should be. So here's your answer to the opening question. Yes, you can win a tournament when the world is betting on the wrong guy. In fact, that's exactly when you should be betting, when narrative and volume create pricing inefficiencies that the data exposes. When $1.86 million chases nostalgia while value sits 3 shots back with a guy who knows every break on these greens. Brooks Koepka isn't winning the Cognizant Classic, but someone's going to make serious money this week. And it won't be the people betting on memories. Thanks for listening to Parlay News. You can support our podcast by following the show, rating it 5 stars, and telling your friends. Remember, the content on this podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes only, and do not constitute financial advice. Prediction markets are extremely risky, and you should never play with more money than you are willing to lose. Always do your own research. Catch you on the flip.
Grep News. Thomas.